Guys, we kind of just got prepped of what to expect when we bring these babies home. Oh, my friends.
We're both wearing gray today.
We are very gray. Guys, I got off work early today because I only had to do half a route, so it's great. Here's the plan. We've come to feed these babies at, what time is it, 4?
4 o'clock.
We've come to feed these babies at 4. By we, I mean her.
Well, should we tell them why?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Normally I feed the babies at 10 and 1 and then come back and feed them at 7. Today I'm feeding them at 10, 1, 4, and 7. Because I'm not pointing this camera anywhere. Why do you hand cameras to me? Anyway, oh, I have too many things in my hands. This camera is looking at nothing.
Well, story of my life.
Try this again. So today I'm feeding them at 10, 1, 4, and 7 because the nurse wants to see how they will do with their feedings if they go all 4 back to back. Because they are considering taking out the feeding tubes. Meaning that they would take all of their meals either from me or a bottle, which is one of the things on our list, right?
Or that from me.
Or from Derek. And that means that once the feeding tube is out, all we have to worry about is getting them off their oxygen. So this is our test run today.
So we've come to feed them at 4, and then we're gonna go feed ourselves, and then we're gonna come back and feed them at 7. Great. So a lot of you have asked how we know how much the girls have eaten after they feed. Well, we get to weigh them.
She's a master. Look at her.
48.
Yeah, she's been doing great today.
That's awesome. Good job, honey. What? Are you peeking? Oh, hello. Okay. Let's go say hi to sister, who's just sleeping away. This is Ella, by the way. Oh my goodness. She's gonna get swaddled. Oh my goodness.
Okay, rockstar.
I just bumped her and she's like, why would you do that?
I'm so sorry, dear.
I'll make it. You get cozy. We'll be back later.
Hopefully sister will eat a little bit more later.
Get cozy. There you go, baby girls. I would just like to document that we came to dinner. We came to Rumby Island Grill. And I am trying a burger of theirs. Look how massive it is. It's huge. What'd you get?
Rice bowl. It's
delicious, huh? Okay. So after we eat, we're gonna go back to the girls and feed them for a second time tonight. So come along with us. I want you guys to guess who I'm holding.
He keeps asking me, are you sure this is her? Are you sure this isn't the other one?
I want you to guess who I'm holding. I'll give you 10 seconds to guess in the comments below. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Ella. Can you believe that? She looks so much like Dallas now. And I mean, probably a lot of you are like, I never can tell anyway. But to me, like, there's a big difference. But she looks so much like her sister today. Huh. You do. Okay, little girls. Sleep tight. Get lots of good food. And we will see you tomorrow. Okay? Guys, we kind of just got prepped of what to expect when we bring these babies home. So you can tell that things are getting closer, right?
Yeah, well, and the thing is, remember how we keep saying they have to eat on their own and breathe on their own? Well, that was a lie that they told us. Because apparently, they sometimes will send babies home on oxygen.
Yeah.
So we might be able to take them home before they're breathing on their own.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit stressful because we'll have to deal with all of their like equipment, and like it'll be like 2 sets of equipment that we're like, who's breathing? Is everyone okay?
True. But I'm gonna let Leisl tell you all the dirty details while I drive. They got us all kind of prepped on bringing home the babes. It just kind of got real. It got real tonight. It's getting closer every day, which is always good. Anyway, Leisl's gonna tell you the details.
So this morning when the nurse practitioner called me at like 8 o'clock in the morning and weirdly was confused about who I was, I think. Because she kept saying things to me like, now, I know that you're normally here this early, but I didn't see you, so I thought I'd give you a call and let you know what's going on since you're normally at the bedside and you weren't and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Never in my life have I ever been to the NICU that early in the morning. I sleep because I have to wake up every 3 hours to pump. I don't get there till 10 ever. And I'm like, when I was in the hospital, I didn't get there till like 1 in the afternoon. So she weirdly thought that I was someone else, I think, but she was talking about the right babies, so I don't know what was going on.
She was confused.
Anyway, she said to me that they were gonna up the bottle feeds. So like Dallas is allowed 2 bottles a night now, and they're gonna see how that goes tonight. And she said because she's like, yesterday Dallas ate 150% of how much she was supposed to get from the breast, and Ella did 115. And she's like, so they're really good, so we're gonna see how it goes and maybe talk about taking the feeding tubes out tomorrow. And I was like, yes! So that's why I did all 4 feeds today, is because we wanted to see how they would do consecutively back to back doing all mouth feeds. Because I wanted to have their numbers look really good so that when the nurse practitioner looks at them again tonight or tomorrow morning, they can be like, oh yeah, they're doing great. So when we were there tonight, we were asking the nurse lead, red leader, go.
Red leader, blue leader, maroon leader, go.
Anyway, the nurse leader on tonight was actually the nurse for our girls. Like we said, they're kind of short lately. Anyway, we were just asking her all these questions because so first, Derek was like, so Leisl said the nurse practitioner said they might get their feeding tubes out. And she was saying that in order to get the feeding tubes out, they have to be getting at least 70% of their allotted like milk amounts by mouth. So as you can tell, we're getting like double that, because 150 and 115%, for those of you who are bad at math, even you know that's more than 70%. I know that and I'm bad at math. So their numbers looked really great yesterday. I think they're gonna probably make it again today. I know Dallas for sure ate over 100% of the meals that I was there for by mouth. And Ella didn't do quite as well, but I'm sure she made at least 70%. Her last feed was really good. Kind of made up for all the ones that weren't quite as good. So hopefully we can start thinking about feeding tubes coming out. So then we just sort of started asking questions because we weren't really sure. Because like right now, if I feed them and they only eat 26 milliliters, they do what is called gavaging.
Gavage.
We always say gavrashing because we think it's funnier.
General Lamarck is dead. Name that musical.
So they gavage the rest of their meal. So say Ella only eats 26, she's supposed to get 36. They'll put 10 milliliters in a syringe to feed through her feeding tube. So we were wondering, once the feeding tube is gone, what if she only eats 26 milliliters again? And the nurse was saying that usually when that happens, they'll like not eat as much one feeding, but they'll make up for it the next. She said what they look at is they look at how much they ate over a 24-hour time period, and if they're getting enough over 24 hours, then they don't really worry about how much they get per feed. It just matters that they're eating enough per day. So then we were talking about like, because they came really early and I wasn't expecting it, and I don't have a pediatrician yet, and I was like, when do I need to get a pediatrician? And she said, I would start looking, you have time within this is what she said, the next week or within a couple of days to get a pediatrician, because they won't send the babies home without a pediatrician, obviously. And she said a lot of the times the pediatrician will get all the information before the babies are even discharged and then meet with us like 2 or 3 days after the babies are discharged to kind of go over everything that's going on. So I did look up the number and the name of the pediatrician that was recommended to us by our doctor, and I need to call him or his office tomorrow and see if he's accepting patients. Otherwise, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Like, they're prepping us for bringing these babies home, right? And I'm sitting there holding little Miss Ella, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited.
I could cry tears of happiness. This is such good news. So then the nurse leader continues to tell us that sometimes they will send babies home on oxygen. And she said it's a really like low flow, and our girls, well, at least Ella is mostly on oxygen for humidity anyway.
Guys, we're getting ice cream. We're gonna have it like
Hi, thank you for choosing
slight pause.
our flavor of
Hold
the day.
please.
Eventually.
Okay, we're back with our
Resume.
ice cream. Oh, mine's bouncing all over.
It's so bouncy.
Ow.
Oh, nom, nom. They screwed up and they gave us 2 large ones.
I only ordered a regular because I have a small stomach.
Yeah,
We get ice cream every time we get good news in the NICU.
that's true. We deserve it, dang it.
We do deserve it. So, as I was saying, they started talking about taking the girls home with oxygen. And they're like, it's usually like a really low flow, but it doesn't give any humidity, so that's a concern because our girls get a lot of humidity. But we have a humidifier, so
Yeah.
that will help hopefully. And then they talked about how like if we have to take them home with any sort of equipment, they have these like hotel type rooms in the hospital with like beds and bathrooms and everything for us, where we go stay with the girls and all their equipment, and we spend 12 hours running the equipment by ourselves and like practicing, but the nurses are still like monitoring them from outside and can still see, so if anything goes wrong, the nurses are right there, but we're the primary caretakers of them before they send us home, so they make sure that we know what we're doing and we're not going to kill our children. So there's a lot of talk about what happens when you're discharged, which makes us feel good.
They're starting to prepare us, which means that they too are preparing for us to take these babies home. So things are getting real.
Yay!
Guys, it's been a long day.
Well, it's
Been a long day. Name that musical. I have to go to bed because tomorrow, I don't know when I am
May
working.
or may not have to be there very early.
I very much don't know my schedule until like the day of, but today I only worked a half a route. So they assume I'll do that same thing, but the guy was like, we'll call you in the morning, like early in the morning. So I have to like be ready to go at a moment's notice. Anyway, so amazing progress with those babies today. They're looking more and more like each other. They're getting more and more ready to come home.
Derek played the Guess Who This Is game with his family.
I did. I played Guess That Baby, and I sent them a picture of Ella. Everyone guessed Dallas. My mom and Ryan didn't guess until after I had told who it was, and my mom was like, I knew it was Ella all along. And I was like, sure you did. And then she was like, she has more hair, which my mom knows to look for that. Ella has more hair.
That's true.
Also, Ella doesn't have bows in right now. Also, Ella has a larger heart-shaped
Her
red
birthmark
spot right
is
here.
kind of heart-shaped, whereas Dallas's is just kind of like a blob.
Yeah. Anyway, so those are hints of how you can tell of who is who.
Ella has more hair, and if we're around, I will generally stick it in an outrageous mohawk.
Yeah.
Dallas doesn't have enough hair to really get a mohawk.
No.
I tried, it didn't work.
That's okay. Anyway, thanks for coming with us today. We appreciate you. Join us again tomorrow for more fun adventures. The life of Derek and Leisl and their 2 babies, Dallas and Ella. Isn't it funny that Ella was born first, but we still say Dallas and Ella?
It's alphabetical.
I guess that's true. It also rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Dallas and Ella.
We also picked Dallas's name first.
Ella and Dallas. Yeah, Dallas and Ella. Dallas and Ella. Feels like Diagonally.
Diagonally.
Anyway, thanks for coming with us. Don't forget to thumbs up our video, like and share,
I
and
also
subscribe.
think because Ella ends with an A, and when you say Ella and, it's
Ella and.
harder because you have to say Ella and Dallas.
You have to separate them.
Whereas you can say Dallas and Ella.
Dallas and Ella. That's true. There you have it. Tricks of the trade. Anyway, thanks for joining us. As always, have courage.
And be kind.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.